So I'm so excited to be here with you today, even though it is via Zoom. I'm very excited about membership. So I've been a member of Rotary since 2012. I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Tri-Cities. I got my kind of introduction into Rotary through group study exchange in 2012. I went to Czech Republic and Slovakia for 5 weeks, came back, joined my club. I've been president twice. For the previous 3 years, I've served as the district's public image chair. I will be membership chair this year, and then I will be going into the role of AAG after that. So there's kind of my brief Rotary bio as to why I'm here and maybe why I'm going to talk to you about membership. So a few things just to get us started. Our main goal, and it's been our main goal for years, but something you're going to continue to hear is that we need to grow Rotary. And, thinking about your club, the Winchester Club, you all are doing really well. You have a good, strong membership, but we still need to think about growing Rotary. Some doom and gloom part of this presentation is that since July 1st, our district, which is from Winchester, Virginia to Greenville, Tennessee, has lost 47 members. So that is significant. So we need to be all working together, doing everything that we can do to grow Rotary. When Rotary International President Knack discussed growing Rotary, he said, we need to stop thinking of new members as people we can mark down as statistics and then forget about. Every new member changes us a little bit. That person brings new perspective, new experiences. We need to embrace this constant renewal, and we will grow stronger as we learn from new members. So that's kind of point number one here. And when we think about growing Rotary, for many, many, many years, we have been thinking about, let's grow Rotary in numbers. Let's think about the statistics. But we kind of need to change our mindset and think of growing Rotary in quality over quantity, because while growing Rotary in numbers is extremely important, we want to grow Rotary, it is equally or more important to grow Rotary with quality members. We don't want this just to be a revolving door. People come in, they sit down, they don't know anything about Rotary, and then they leave. We want to bring in quality members that it makes sense. Remember, we still are a membership organization, and we kind of have a mindset as to who needs to come in. So we need to be thinking about quality members, not just any person off the street to come into Rotary. We want that quality member that's going to stay with us for the long haul. And then point number 2 here is engage members. So once we have them in, it is our responsibility, every single Rotarian's responsibility, to engage those members. We don't want someone just to come in and sit at the same table week after week after week and talk to, I'm sorry, I'm virtually learning with my kid. Got it.
And I need my spurs.
You've got to learn being like a flexible mom from home that's also virtual learning with her 5-year-old. Okay. So engaging members. So we don't want people just to come in, be here for a couple of months, sit with the same people, talk to the same people, realize maybe they don't feel connected to the group that they're with, and then leave. What we need to be asking new members is, what are your passions? And even existing members, what are your passions? And then tying that to something Rotary. I mean, we touch so many things in Rotary. There's always something to tie them to what they're passionate about to something Rotary. And then third, think outside the box. We'll go into this a little bit later, but Rotary has allowed us to be way more flexible. I mean, look at us. We are on a Zoom call. So we are way more flexible now than we've ever been before. So use that and think outside the box.
That's all I needed.
So one of the things that Rotary International wants us to do is manage our club expectations. So we bring a new member in. It's up to us in leadership and Rotarians to help that Rotary member understand our club and understand dues and understand meeting expectations and attendance requirements. Because if someone comes in and they don't know all of those things, they don't know the expectations, they're more than likely going to fail. So this goes right into improving your orientation. I'm not sure if your club has an orientation. I would encourage you, if you don't, to create one. I would imagine that you probably do, being the club size that you are. But make sure that that's a good orientation. Assign a mentor to that Rotarian, that new Rotarian coming in, and making sure that that individual feels motivated to get involved. And then lastly, if something's not working, fix it. So improve your club environment, vary your meeting format if you need to, have a mix of traditional and online meetings, which is kind of what we're doing here, have service projects and social gatherings. And this may seem obvious to most clubs, but there are clubs that I present to that kind of just get into a routine of just meeting week after week, and then they forget the other things in Rotary that we're passionate about, which is service projects and social gatherings. I'm going to go through a couple of new opportunities that we have as Rotarians and for Rotary clubs. One of those are satellite clubs. Satellite clubs are a new way to start a Rotary club. Satellite clubs, they ultimately become an arm of the parent club. So you still have your core club, but let's say that there is an organization out there that is already meeting, and maybe they want to tie themselves to an organization. This would be a perfect opportunity to set up a satellite club. So maybe there's a young professionals group in your city, and maybe they're meeting already once a month or twice a month. This would be an amazing opportunity for them to become a satellite club of your organization. They're still Rotarians, just like we are. They pay dues, but they kind of set up their own club dues structure. They still pay RI dues. They have their own board and leadership, but they still report to the satellite club. They their own meeting time, their own meeting place. They can be flexible in how often or their attendance requirements. So it's an opportunity. If right now you have a group of individuals that are in your club that maybe your meeting time no longer works for them, they can branch off and create a satellite club. So they're still members of your club, but they meet at a different time. So that's an interesting and new way for us to think about Rotary and starting new Rotary clubs. A satellite club, it's required to have 20 members to start. So again, can be members of your club or a whole new branch of your club. I mentioned this earlier, club flexibility, and this is something that Rotary International has worked really hard to give our clubs the flexibility to do what it is that works for our club. So if it's not working, fix it. Like I talked about, start a new type of club, start a satellite club, offer alternative membership types. In my club, we're a small club. We have a junior membership for young professionals. We have a senior membership for individuals that are retired and maybe their income has changed. And so we have a membership just for retired members. And then we have e-members that only attend our meetings online. So maybe they live outside of our area that makes sense for them to drive to our meetings on a regular basis. So they're only an e-member. They video in every single week. They don't pay for meals only unless they actually come to the meeting. Rotary has also given us the flexibility to change our meeting format. We're not required to meet every single week. We are not required to keep the attendance expectations like we had before. So if something is working for your club, that's great. Continue doing that, improve on that. But if something's not working for a group of individuals in your club and that's keeping you from growing, we now have the flexibility to change that. So I want to take a moment for you all to think about these three questions. And this is really part of a satisfaction survey that Rotary International has put together, but I've pulled these three questions out because I would like for you individually, not you as a Rotary leader, not you as anything else, but you as a Rotarian, to really think about these three questions. What do you like most about your Rotary Club? What do you like least about your Rotary Club? And then where do you see your Rotary Club in 5 years? Where do you, went too fast. Where do you want your club to be? And what are 3 things that you could do to grow Rotary? So really think about those. And what I would encourage you all to do as a club is to, formally ask your club these questions. So whether that's an email form, or maybe you sit down in small groups and have a club meeting that's just around these questions, but really think about, where do you want your club to be in 5 years, and really talk about the things that everyone likes most, and continue doing those. If they like it, continue to do it. Really think about the things that people like least, because there are your opportunities for improvement, and there are your opportunities to create new clubs. And then individually, what are 3 things you could do to grow Rotary? Think about the people that you know and or other organizations you're involved in. So think about the things that you personally could do to grow Rotary. And some ideas that have worked for other clubs, and something to remember whenever I always go over this slide, I always say, what works for one club may not work for another, but you'll never know unless you try. So if you're thinking about relaxed attendance, our revised guidelines only require 50% attendance at weekly meetings. So maybe it's that you want to have a service project instead of one of your regular club meetings. And I realize in the time of COVID, a lot of this stuff isn't exactly what it would be once we start meeting back in person, but things to think about. Having the hybrid model, which it looks like you all have, but maybe keeping that in place once things go back to normal. That has worked really well for our club. We have been a hybrid club for 3 years. Having those e-members, members that attend fully online, but they don't pay the full fees that are required for attending every week and having lunch. Maybe they only pay the RI and district dues, but they don't pay for your lunch. And then thinking about service above self, we've talked about this, but instead of having a regular meeting each month, one week, dedicate that meeting to doing a hands-on service project. And if it's something that you can do as a group, that's great, or maybe it's not. Maybe you just dedicate that one meeting for individuals to go and do a service project that they're passionate about. It always doesn't have to be the same thing every month. And then a cause-based club. This is something that Rotary International is really looking for. Is there that group of individuals in your community? We talked about, is there a young professionals group? Is there a book club that's already out there that they're looking kind of for a way to have more structure? This would be a great opportunity. Is there a mom's group? Is there, there's so many things. Is there an exercise group? Lots of things to think about. There are groups of individuals in your community. Are they looking to tie themselves to something? Are they looking to make an impact on the community? And if they are, satellite clubs are a great way to get started, or a cause-based club is a great way to get started. So I know I went through that quickly. I know Zoom is really hard when you have someone presenting on Zoom to a room of people and 2 people on Zoom, but our committee is here for you. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if there's an idea that you have, we definitely want to talk through that. So I'm here for you. Our committee's here for you. And if you have any questions right now, I'll be glad to take those.
Okay, are there any questions? I don't think there are.
Hold on one second. We do have one.
Okay, good.
Yep. Yeah, here, give me this one. Yep, give that one. Hold on just one second, please.
Yeah, as I sat here, I was struck by the fact that the future of anything is the younger members. And that's true of Rotary. I was wondering about sampling them as to what they see Rotary could be 5 years and 10 years in their life. Keying off that for new programs. Because I think the younger generation is not inclined to join organizations like my generation was. And you see it in churches, you see it politically, you see it in service clubs and so forth. So that is a hidden resource that we haven't explored. What do you think?
Were you able to hear him?
I think it was around younger. How do you draw in the younger generation, and how do you get them involved in Rotary, because their priorities may be different than other generations. Did I kind of gather? Is that kind of where the question was going?
That's correct.
So I'm part of that younger generation, and I have read lots of studies. I've done lots of trainings about multi-generational clubs and organizations. And here's what I can tell you about my. We want to be involved in organizations. We want to be involved in organizations that we have a tie to and that do things that we're passionate about. It's not that we just want to be tied to something that doesn't give us anything in return. So what I would say for Rotary is mentors. Younger generations need those mentors. Younger generations need to feel like they're making an impact. So like with my club, we're very involved with hunger initiatives. We pack backpacks every single month because our club members, we have the youngest average age of a club in our district. So we ask our members every single year, tell us what you're passionate about, and then how do we tie your passions to something Rotary related? And then we take all the information that we get and we put together our club projects based on what our members say. And yes, there are projects that we do every single year because that's what we've always done. But there are opportunities for us to create new projects. Or if there is a club member that, let's say they're passionate about hunger, then create a committee for them to create a new service project. And you're going to bring in individuals once they see that you're in the community, that you are telling your community that you're doing those things, and that it's not the Rotary that they may think that Rotary has always been.
Okay, great. Leslie, thank you very much for being with us today, but also for being the first on our conference, our Zoom conference. So thank you for the groundbreaking. And thank you, Roy, for your question.